an elite boarding school, a secret society, a forbidden group of students, and an explosive start to junior year. It's so hard to transition between soft-spoken and whispering because they use two completely different parts of your voice. This fall, 6 new students are attending the elite Darkwood Academy, but they aren't your regular overachieving teens. They're DNA duplicates of current students, joining the class alongside their originals. The similars are all anyone can talk about. Who are they? What are the odds that all of them would be Darkwood students? And who is the madman who broke the law to create them? Emily and Chance couldn't care less. Her best friend, Oliver, died over the summer, and it's all she can do to get through each day without him. Then she comes face to heartbreaking face with Levi, Oliver's exact DNA copy. Emma wants nothing to do with the similars, but she keeps getting pulled deeper and deeper into their world. She can't escape the dark truths about them or her prestigious school. No one can be trusted, not even the boy who she is falling for, who has Oliver's face. So I got it. And it's funny, the girls that I babysit for love to read, and I pretty much only read young adult fiction. So, that sounds like a book that I'm gonna borrow to them after this. And they're 14 and 13, so shows where I'm at in my life, okay? Next. This book is called The Cabin. The Cabin, The Cabin, The Cabin by Natasha Preston. It says, they think they're invincible. They think they can do and say whatever they want. They think there are no consequences. They've left me no choice. It's time for them to pay for their sins. A weekend partying at a remote cabin is just what Mackenzie needs. She can't wait to let loose with her friends, but a crazy night of fun leaves 2 of them dead, murdered, with no signs of a forced entry or struggle. Suspicion turns to the 5 survivors, assuming someone isn't telling the truth. And Mackenzie's first mistake? Assuming the killing is over. Ooh. So that's the bomb. Very, very good. Very, very good. Good. Damn. There was another book that I had that I actually put back, and I'm bummed about it because I think the description was not as good, but the reviews from it were like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I wanted. But anyway, then I got my fiance and I this. It was only $8. It's called A Guided Journal to Learn More About Each Other, Our Love Story. And inside it, there are different prompts that we each answer. Excuse me. So this one says, the moment I knew I couldn't, live without you. So then my fiance would fill out one page and I would fill out the other. The hardest thing we've ever been through was, the funniest thing that has ever happened to us was, our favorite plays, our favorite thing about us, our favorite movie, our favorite meal, our biggest strength as a couple. And so we each fill out the questions, you know. It just helps us learn more about ourselves and about our relationship, and kind of explore the good and the bad parts of our relationship. And it says, like, right before we met, I was, and then he would fill out one page and I would fill out the other. And he doesn't really like to write, but I think that's just a form of insecurity for him, because he isn't great with words. He is very smart, but he's not smart with, like, words, or like how to write properly or articulate his thoughts. But I'm just gonna assure him that he doesn't have to make it sound like a poem. He just has to write it, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that and stuff. And then I also got my mom for Christmas last year. No, I think it was for her birthday this year. I got her a book that I found at a thrift store, and it was called, like, Tales from My Mother or something like that, or My Mother's Story or something like that. And it's basically a book that she can write in with, like, these prompts of all of her memories. And I knew that she would really, really like that. She's always wanted to write her own memoir and her own stories. And it's basically like, for future generations, so for my daughter and for myself, once my mom passes away, we have all of her stories in her life to remember and learn about her and pass on the knowledge of her to everyone else, right? And so I got that for my mom, but I saw these at Barnes & Noble, and so I picked some up for everyone else. So this is a different brand and a different format than the one I already gave my mom, but they're the same kind of thing. So they were each $8. I got this for my fiance's mom. It's called My Grandmother's Life. Grandma, I want to know everything about you. Give to your grandmother to fill in with her memories and return to you as a keepsake. And I just thought that Rose would love to have these, and I would love to have these about her grandparents. So, and it has a lot of different questions in it. Describe a fight you had with your spouse and how you overcame it. Is there anything you would change about how you raised your children? What's one part of being a parent to young children that you don't miss? Who are people who had an early impact on your childhood? Describe yourself in your 18 to 20s, or 18 to 22, or something like that. What was the biggest argument that you had with a friend? Whose fault was it? Just like parts of their life, you know, that they would never think to even tell you about or to write down or document, because, you know, who just thinks of that stuff? But this is a prompt, a 204-page prompt that she can write down and save for our daughter and all of our other children that we have, because she'll always be their grandma. Their Lala, not their grandma. And then I got one, My Grandfather's Life, for my dad and CJ's dad. So CJ's dad, I think, will eat this up. I think he will own this book and really make it his own, and he'll find joy in, like, writing down these memories, right? My dad, on the other hand, I don't think I think it's kind of like with CJ. He doesn't like to write. He doesn't like to record those memories, and I'll try not to get emotional here, but my dad's dad died when my dad was, I think, 17. So, like, really young, right? And I think my dad's dad was 38 or 39, so he was really young. And that was, like, really hard for my dad, and it's been hard for me never meeting him. I've had dreams about him that I think that they were real conversations that we've had, but we've never met in real life yet. And I think I'll give this to my dad, and he'll kind of be like, oh, well, I don't know how to write all that stuff and everything, but I'll just tell him, like, I'll put a little note in it and just be like, how amazing would it be to have this book from your dad, so that his memories of his life could be kept alive, you know? And so hopefully that will guilt him into to making his own, because it would be a darn shame for Rose to know nothing about her grandparents, just like me. Like, I don't really know anything about my great-grandparents or whatever, so it'd be really nice for them to write all that stuff down. Last item that I got was a game for all of us to play at the cabin for the 4th of July, because there is going to be my parents, who were born in the 60s, the late 60s. And then there is my grandma, who was born in the early 50s. And then her friend, who was born, I think, around the same time. And then there's going to be my brother and my sister-in-law, who are the very end of the spectrum of millennials. They're like the oldest that you can be as a millennial, and then I am the youngest. I am right on the cusp here between millennial and Gen Z, and then my fiance is a millennial. And this is called Mind the Gap. It's a trivia game for generations, ages 10 to boomer. And it says the game where your team will need knowledge from every generation, from grandparents to teenagers, if you want to be successful. And it's a trivia game that you have to make it around the board. Play with mixed teams of all ages and work together to get around the board. Finally, a trivia game for everyone. Young and young at heart will have to answer questions about culture and events that defined each generation. It says, or play against each other to determine once and for all which is truly the greatest generation. And so it has different trivia sections. It has 4 different sections of cards with questions for boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Zs. So my grandparents were boomers. My parents were Gen X, Generation X. My brother and myself are millennials, and my other 2 sisters. But then, like, CJ's little sister is Gen Z. Technically me too, depending on who you ask. I was born in 95, and some people say the cutoff for millennials is 94. Other people say it's 95, and I've even heard some people say 96. So I'm not sure exactly where the cutoff is, but either way, I was also raised in a household with 3 siblings who were 8 to 11 years older than I am. So I feel like I am far more millennial than I am anything else either way. So, but yeah, that's it. That's what I got. I'm gonna have another sipperoo of my wine. So now, these are going to be Christmas gifts, by the way. So I now have one gift for my fiance's mom, one gift for my fiance's dad, one gift for my dad, and 2 gifts for my mom. So I am 5 Christmas presents in, baby. And it's only June. Let me know if you enjoyed this soft-spoken and whispered mixture. It's always odd to me what triggers I find to be tingly, because normally I wouldn't think that like soft-spoken is very tingly, but when somebody goes in and out of soft-spoken versus whispering, it's so tingly to me. Like, it lights my tingles on fire, especially if there is some tapping involved. Tingles galore. So if you enjoyed